Hey guys, so today I would really like to spread some awareness on being in labor and what it's actually like to be in labor. Some things that people do not tell you, and you kind of have to find out on your own, and it sucks to find out on your own. So the first thing that I want to mention is when I was pregnant, I was really afraid to push, and I was like, oh, the contractions are fine. I don't care about that. I can get through that. I just am really afraid to push. Well, that's super not the case, and when you're actually in labor, the contractions are obviously for the duration. Most of it is what you're kind of experiencing, and the pushing is super at the end, and it's just so much easier than you'd ever expect. What you need to focus on while you're pregnant is learning how to do breathing techniques for the contractions. The contractions do not start off slow, or do not start off really painful like in the movies. It'll gradually increase the pressure and pain. When it gets really painful and you think you're comfortable with the pain, your body will increase that pain until you get comfortable with that pain, and it'll just kind of keep going until it's time to push. So for me, I was in labor for 24 and a half hours, and I had her at home, so that means no medications. So what I was, focusing on obviously was my breathing patterns and techniques, trying not to freak out, and just really focusing on the pain. So I was in labor for like 3 or 4 hours before I even knew that I was actually in real labor, because I thought that maybe it was false labor because it didn't hurt. But it got there, and it did start to hurt pretty bad there. And it progresses, and I've heard it be compared to like a period cramping. It starts off like that, but when it increases, and especially when your water breaks, it is much more than period cramping. It is very painful, but to remind you, it is 100% worth it, and you can get through it. You can do it. Your body will not give you anything that you can't handle. So with that being said, you just got to push through it. And I mean, the contractions last for a minute, and they, you have a little bit in between, especially when it comes closer to the end and the contractions are longer and the period between the contraction times are shorter. They just feel like they kind of just never stop. But you do take for granted those few seconds in between that you don't have those contractions or pain. So in that time when you don't have contractions, really focus on regrouping yourself and getting ready for the next one. I remember trying to go to my happy place when I was in a lot of pain, and just, okay, I can do this, it's gonna come back, but it will end again. And during that, I was just really focused on it ending, and just I can do this, I can get through this one. And that's kind of what I did. I played it contraction by contraction, and it did get me through. When you are actually pushing, it doesn't hurt as bad as they say. You do have the burning sensation, the crowning, but honestly, you don't care, and it kind of feels good to relieve the pressure. This kind of sounds gross, but it feels like you're taking a shit, and you really have to, and you're going, and it's just relieving all this pressure. And honestly, when I was pushing, the contractions were there, but I didn't even realize it because I was just so focused on pushing. Now, another thing that they don't kind of tell you is when they say, okay, you ready to push? That is not like a, do you want to push the baby out, or is your body ready to push the baby out? See, I had that misconception in my labor, and I thought she was asking me if I wanted to push the baby out, and I was like, yeah, I do, please. I've been trying to do this for, 41 weeks. And when I actually pushed, I was false pushing for 6 hours because I didn't understand the question, are you ready to push? So that's a thing to kind of be aware of, is don't push if you're not ready. You know when you're ready to push, because all of a sudden I was like, I don't know what's going on, but I just need to push. My body's doing it for me. I'm not even doing anything. And that was when it was time to push, and that was when the baby was ready to come. Another thing is that my water did not break until the end, because I had someone break it for me because it just wasn't breaking. but those contractions were so much stronger than the ones prior to my water breaking. So just kind of be aware of that. I don't know. It depends on when your water breaks. Some people's water break early and some don't have to be broken like me here. So just kind of be on the lookout that after your water breaks, you are going to get super strong contractions if you're already in labor. I can't say anything about having your water break before labor because I don't know. I haven't been through that. Another thing that I would like to mention is that time is super irrelevant and it doesn't matter, and you have no concept of time. You literally look at the clock and it says 6 o'clock, and then you look back at it and it says like 7:40, and you're like, where did those 2 hours go? It's just because your mind is just not there. It's just focusing on the pain and trying to get this baby out. So if that happens to you, and it will happen, and especially the 24 hours after you have your kid, time doesn't matter. It's just all irrelevant at that point. Also, one thing that I did kind of feel guilty of, and I didn't know because no one ever told me, was when you actually have the child and they put it on you for the first time, I was told that you would feel a euphoria and you would feel extremely happy and all of the pain would go away immediately as soon as they set this baby on you. So I was expecting that. And they set the baby on me and I felt nothing but pain. And I was like, I'm really happy you're here, but why am I in so much pain still? And again, time concept, you forget everything. Your brain isn't working normal. I forgot about the placenta, which, how could I forget about that? I know. I've done, I'm a person. I know everything about birth. I just looked it up for 10 months straight. Like, I could graduate with it. I know. So you just completely forget. And I was like, okay, I'm really happy this baby's here, but oh my gosh, please. So I delivered the placenta and they put the ice pack in place, and then, only then, did all the pain go away. Then you feel so happy that your baby is here, and I was like, okay, I'm in no more pain. I don't feel anything. I'm just super happy my baby is here. And I just kind of felt guilty about that I wasn't happy that my baby was here. I mean, obviously I was, but I was just in so much pain that I didn't kind of care. I mean, I was like, please just fix this pain so I can be happy that my baby is on top of me, the one that I've been waiting to see for 10 months, like, please. And after the ice pack was in place, it is so much better, and you're just so happy that they're here, and every bit of it was worth it because they are here, and that is all that matters, and everything is fine and worth it. So I hope you like this video. I hope that it gives you some insight. You can do it. It's okay. If you have any more questions, feel free to leave them below. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you learned something.